So these will be on the test tomorrow. Now I know this seems a little abrupt, but these are extremely easy to use. That's why we're doing it so quickly and so close to the test. For the test, we will give you both formulas. You don't have to memorize them. What you do have to know is what each one is. So right now they're labeled arc length and sector area, but they will not be labeled as such on the test. You have to be able to tell them apart. So here's an easy way to tell them apart. In math, A always stands for what?
Angle. Awesome.
Since elementary school.
Area.
Thank you. Adjacent is a fair point. That's a fair point. In a formula, besides the trig functions. In a formula, A is area. Let's talk about S. Obviously, I'm giving you way more background than you need, but this is just to explain why an S is used.
Surface.
No. Oh, you won't guess it. S equals, I don't even know if I'm saying this right, spatium? No.
Is that a bone?
No, it sounds like it would be. Spatium is the Latin word for length. So the S does represent length. Are you taking a quiz? You can drop it back there off at my desk, I don't care. And then you'll just need a pencil. You can use your calculator. Once you reset it, I'll get this to you. So, let's do a couple problems. Number 1. Find the length of the arc given that the radius is 7 meters and theta is 60 degrees. Round answers to 3 decimal places. R is 7, theta is 60 degrees. It's asking for the length of the arc. So that means we're going to use the first formula. We have S equals angle over 360 times 2 pi r. What unit must theta be in? Which is it? It's out of 360. What do we think? Yeah, degrees. So this one's good. So we don't have to do anything special. Just plug the numbers in, and then we'll use our calculators to get an answer. This is 60 degrees over 360 times 2 pi r is 7. You can simplify and do some of this math on your paper, but ultimately you will have to use the calculator because we want a decimal. So I just recommend going for it and plugging it straight into the calculator. Write it exactly, type it exactly as I have it written to avoid any kind of miscalculation. Alpha x to get that fraction button. 60 over 360 times 2. Pi is above the caret button, the arrow, if you haven't located it yet. Second arrow, refer to that as a caret. Second caret, and then 7. If you type that incorrectly, you'll get 7.330 for our decimal. And this is in meters. Questions on that first problem? Second problem, find the area of the sector given that the radius is 2 meters and theta is 3/4 pi, or 3 pi over 4. Again, we're told r is 2, and theta this time is in radians. I'm going to write 3 pi over 4. This time we're using area, so we need the second formula. A equals angle over 360 pi r squared.
Are you gonna give it to us on the test with A and S?
A and S, yes. Yep, you just have to know what A and S mean. Reminder, theta must be in degrees for these formulas to work. So since this is in radians, we're going to have to convert before we can plug it in. Let's convert. You must know how to convert for the test. That is one of the required pieces of info you must remember. We have 3 pi over 4. And we need to multiply that by what over what? 180 on top. We want degrees. Degrees goes on top. We have radians, so pi goes on bottom. What you want over what you have. What you have goes on bottom so that it cancels out. The pi's are gone. And then we multiply. 180 times 3, 540 degrees over 4. And this is a nice number. It is 135. That's our new theta. Gotta get rid of that. That looks like a fraction. There we go. Now we can use the formula. A equals 135 degrees over 360 degrees times pi times our radius, which is 2 squared. Once again, we'll just type all that into the calculator carefully to get our answer. Reminder, just make sure you type it exactly as it's written. There should be no issues with that. If you type this in correctly, you will get 4.712 when rounded to 3 decimal places. What's my label?
Meters.
Meters. Area?
Meters squared.
Yes, meters squared. Area squared. There you have it. On the physical problem, we will write out both formulas, but we're going to ask you to use one. You have to know which one to use for which problem. And reminder, theta must be in degrees. So if we give you a problem in radians, you have to also convert to use the formula. Any questions about these formulas?